the most common team map we saw. And, well, how about we see some straight out the gate? 2 kills for the CTs to get things started. Morocco drawing first blood. We'll see the bomb outside of the A bomb site. Casey has to scale in, looking for the entry into the bomb site. Gets it onto Sebs, looking for more. It's actually Casey. Actually, she does get that kill onto Kim. Sabrine up and towards heaven, flush out eventually. Casey's trying to do everything, and maybe she will. 4 kills for her, looking for the ace, and what a way to kick things started for South Africa.
Unbelievable. That's a 3 versus 5 as well, that Casey just works into an ace. All 5 to kick off proceedings here is absolutely fantastic. And I really like the way that sort of Morocco were playing that as well, because they took the fight in towards middle, they got those 2 opening kills, and then immediately South Africa try and take the contact through A. It's Casey that scales, it's Casey that gets every single one. Damn, what a way to kick off your T side.
Feels a little unfortunate for Morocco, who did get those 2 opening kills as well. It's going to drop into middle. Casey again delivering with that AK. This is the full eco, so you aren't expecting them to run over these CTs, although it gets a little scary there as it is a stacked bomb site. A lot of damage being done, but only losing the 1 player, so that's fine for South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely fine. You keep the AK, you keep the Galil, you can now reinvest and even upgrade your rifles. That was very much SMG-centric, just to kind of earn some money. Meg's even swapping over to the Glock and just sort of trying to create space for the rest of the team to come involved. But Stack doesn't achieve too much, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing just out of Morocco. Sabrine's immediately purchased the AWP.
Okay, cool.
Glass cannon, no armor, but she has got smoke.
All right, let's see where she starts with that. Looks like she's going to be on the B bomb site, maybe taking the dark peek. Looking for it. Avo is going to be close to the MAC-10, and if she swings around this corner, if Sabrine isn't ready for this close angle, because she walked up on the cover of the left, she could be in for a nasty surprise. The MAC-10 up close. You need to hit this shot if you're Sabrine. Do you see the rest of South Africa, the majority, outside of the B bomb site? Re-smoke into main will slow down their approach, though.
I think that's fine, though, because you've got Casey over towards A. She can now take the contact, and she's found the kill. That's going to pull rotates.
Yeah, how disciplined are Morocco? Fairly, actually. Kim's already on site, sees that there's no further progression off that, but Casey finds another, and that will start to draw players. And this is when South Africa strike. Avo gets that kill onto the orb. Lena sets up with the double. Killer Queen on that lurk, catches out Casey. It's a 1 versus 2. They know where she's coming from. Avo upgrades to the AWP as the bomb gets planted. She can just sit this line, has utility as well. Going to be a difficult player to get past. The wide swing, though, is perfect way to offset that AWP. There is a chance here. Needs to clear. Goblin doesn't fully look into it, so IESF able to get the kill. South Africa win that first gun round versus Morocco.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, Morocco are offering up just a lot of good ideas here in the early stages of this game, because you've got the discipline. They don't all rotate away. Despite Casey finding 2 openers on A, there's still 2 players on this bomb site. The big issue is that Sabrine Hunter now has to look back over towards B main because the utility's coming over, and that's where Avo can strike. Avo was so patient and disciplined in with the canals lurk, able to find that kill. Just translates it into more success, but there is definitely opportunities here for Morocco. The difficulty is letting South Africa gain the momentum and start to run away with things.
Okay, we've got a bit of a half by stack in the middle. This is kind of fun, actually. The upgraded pistols actually don't swing. They want to bait her in to see if she'll further extend. And there we go, revealing all those players. That's a weapon to be picked up. Unfortunately, your armored player is brought down low, and, well, the B bomb site completely breached. Megs will tuck into the corner, and with Casey by her side, that will be mostly a cleanup. Losing 2 players, but that's all fine for South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Just especially in sort of the eco landscape. Casey has worked in towards A again. Even on these low buy rounds, Casey is still setting that conditioning, walking in towards A main, willing to take all these fights. And at any moment, South Africa can now just pull out a fast A play, because Casey's been given all of this space, all of this respect. At any moment, they could bring that out, and it could be well timed as well. When you consider that Morocco are now going to probably have to adjust in towards more mid and more B, I would have preferred that. Instead, it's going to be, again, this B lean. Killer Queen, this time going for a fight early. South Africa look to accelerate.
That Orbs in play once more. Stars middle to see if she can catch off anyone, but doesn't see too many. Utility protocol's nice, but the incendiary doesn't fully spread. Killer Queen is worried about this dark play, the smoke allowing a lurk. She's right to be worried, because Avo sits tucked in wait, looking for that perfect time to swing. 3 players present, but again, Avo finds that entry.
And they're just going to go. Lena pre-fired off the line, but I hate Jess. This time, no multi-kill allowed whatsoever. And if you're Morocco, I wouldn't hate a save here. There's players in your spawn, for goodness sake. I hate Jess is on a mission to get rid of Kim, and she's done so successfully. Sabrina Hunter with the AWP needs to back out, needs to escape, if she even be allowed, and she won't.
Yeah, Megs. If there's a player that's just going to run you down, it's Megs. Casey's doing a great job of it as well. This is, a few things, just worth highlighting. This is Anubis. This is the T side, where you do expect teams to get the majority of their rounds. South Africa very proven on this side of the map. But I'm liking some of the things I'm seeing from Morocco. Some of the setups, some of the pieces of utility, the ideas are all there. Just the execution getting bamboozled by the pace of some of these plays.
It's a shame, and it comes back to just with the experience that South Africa have got. It's just these lurks that are catching Morocco off guard quite a lot. Because if they were trying to set up in these crossfires, if they're just able to sort of just take a couple of seconds and remain rooted in them, they're in really good spots. I mean, this round was just I hate Jess having an unbelievable entry path in, pre-fired onto Lena because she played there in the previous round. That's where she got her double kill, and then she just scaled immediately in towards CT. Because Morocco have only shown players in towards Temple, Dark, and close CT. You're never going to expect another player rotating in over there. And Casey can hear these rotates off the A play anyway, because she's just always in made.
Got to praise Avo as well. Talked about, being this young player on the stage for the first time. And she's been really good at finding the space in Dark. 2 rounds in a row where she's bested the player that's looking after that position. And we know how difficult the B bomb site can be to keep a hold of, and if you don't have that control of Dark, if you're getting bullied out of that space consistently, it becomes a very claustrophobic bomb site.
We just saw hand cam from 2SSB, and the reason I know that is because in the corner it said she had 10k. I was going to call that out, but now we got it on the HUD as well. She's wielding the AWP. Sabrina with the Deeg. Will be able to run down Casey. Finally, Casey stopped, but just for a moment, Avo steps in and puts the player advantage back in favor of South Africa.
Yeah, what a double from Avo. She might not be done yet, just wants to fight her way in. Runs down Kim. Clean kills to open it up. Bombs to be planted. Tispy's AWP on the line if they come through camera, although a smoke actually lands. Flashbang forward, forces the AWP off the line, but you got to get past Avo. They do successfully. Barrel spotted, Lena, good kills. The swing with 2 of them, enough. And it comes down to the 1v1. Meg's bomb is planted for her, catches Lena just as she's setting up the utility. Smoke goes down, but it's too little too late, and that round is all Avo.
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, think about what Morocco brought into that. You bring forward a Deagle, you brought forward a FAMAS, an MP9. There was not the most amount in that, and yet it still comes down to the 1v1. Yet it still comes down to Megs having to clutch up for them, and she does just about manage it. Huge round from Avo. But Morocco, they are knocking at the door, and it is really up to South Africa to kind of just stop it. And so far, they're doing a great job of doing it. I'm really liking the fact that everyone is even on the kills as well, bar 2SSB. But you see her in the player cam, she's chilled. She's just controlling what's happening in the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's often the case with 2SSB. I feel like she kind of just sits back, plays her lines, and lets these aggressive riflers she has do the bulk of the work. Boost up.
Oh. Nearly.
Does get some good shots off. She goes back for more. Can't quite convert it. It's an awkward fight. But
There's that lurk punished.
yeah, finally, Casey not allowed to get away with it again. But it might not matter anyway, because once again, they managed to fight their way into B. Kim gets 1 from deep CT. It's 2 on 3. Megs has taken a very forward position and is going to catch off the rotate.
To be honest, I do think South Africa are leaving the door open for Morocco to come back into these rounds. Utility in this instance especially, so delayed. And you're allowing sort of the CT line to get over, you're allowing potentially Sabrine Hunter to get on the angle. Sabrine Hunter's rotate was a little bit late, but you can understand the point and the premise. There are certain opportunities here where South Africa are just kind of wanting to sort of take the fight to Morocco. And I don't think they're ready for sort of how hard some of these players hit. Orb going down is massive. And of course, South Africa will be happy with that.
Yeah, smiles on the faces. Successful hunt, nobody gets to live. Yeah, vibes in South African camp looking very positive. That's what you want to see. Coming in as the favorites. Don't want to get upset by the dark horse of Morocco, this team that is relatively an unknown element in terms of their CS2 form. We kind of told the story going into the series where we had that little delay about Morocco's experience in CSGO, some of what they showed us. SSB does get the opener this round. Now I think they're at the point where they just want to try and disrespect, and, well, you got to be careful doing that. That's where you can trip up. Big double kill, puts it into the 3-on-3.
Good molly. We'll keep Kim back for at least a moment, and the smokes follow up. Now South Africa can take this off plant anywhere. They can establish crossfires. This run will be heard, so Sabrine's lurk will be known to SSB, can get on the line and hold B main potentially. Actually, has it been known? Surely Casey could con that over. I think she just has.
Yeah. Molly actually went down, so she had the smoker to burst through. Casey, nice shot. And the 3 South Africans on the site all get a kill apiece. But you can see where the faltering can come through, right? When you're on this roll, when you're 7-0 up, you start to feel like, yeah, we can kind of disrespect them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We can really force the issue, and the shot's still good from the Moroccans. Nice double kill to slow down the entry into B, but unfortunately not quite enough.
I know this is going to sound probably a little bit weird, me saying this, because the scoreline is 8-0, but this does give me hope for Morocco just in this tournament as a whole. I think they're going to put up a really good fight against Egypt. I think they're going to do good against Tunisia as well. Like I came into this without really knowing what to expect, but I have been impressed so far, and there's been a number of rounds where South Africa definitely could have dropped the ball. The good news South Africa is they haven't.
Now they're just going to burst through middle, trying something else out, but again, a nice double kill. Kim also finding success. They're not getting into A easily. 2SSB needs the 1 versus 3. First is hers. Drops the smoked camera. She actually swaps to the AK. Looking to rotate back to B, but look at Sabrine's position. In the perfect spot to punish, and Morocco get on the board.
Yeah, that was slow there from South Africa. You try and split through camera, but it's all individual. I don't know how Killer Queen's able to get away with so much there, but she does. And the mid-hold's been brilliant out of Morocco. This is the first time we've really seen it being tested on a gun round, and they passed with flying colours.
Yeah, that was great. Really good spacing from the CTs to allow those multi-kills. 2SSB given some space to work with it, but the flank timing from Sabrine, perfection. Money not going to be a problem. South Africa just yet.
It's crazy how, like, KC, Megs, IHS just don't have any money. This was an...
Avo's loaded, though.
Yeah, true, but it's 8-1. You have no money in the tank. That's a testament to how competitive this has been. This is now a change-up. South Africa just want to hit the site. They want to hit it fast.
Yeah, grouping up. Although, actually, they still have this leg. They love this default setup where they do have KC testing out A main. Good molly, forces Sabrine forward, but she starts firing. Megs can't win the fight. Despite that setup, Casey falls as well on A. This might be a disaster for South Africa. IHS, though, fighting back with a double. Avo chimes in. What looked like a disaster is picked back up. Killer Queen and Kim in the 2-on-3.
I can't believe that. And now you've just dropped, but IHS misses the mark. Kim, known entity, missed shot for 2SSB. The gap is closing, but that molly is going to buy time.
Both these T's are low. Time for the reload for 2SSB. And then it's going to burst through. Avo gets one, and it's down to the 1 versus 1. A tap on the bomb to bait out 2SSB, but it's the no-scope from the South African AWPer that denies.
But again, though, you can see it falling apart. You can really feel like that was Morocco's round to win. That molly, even though they put it in towards the corner, they didn't swing off it. There was no sort of hold for the utility. So it's so easy to be able to grab this kill for your Sabrine Hunter. I can't believe that they just get free there like it's nothing. Another 3 versus 5 that goes in the favor of South Africa. Sure, it comes down to a 1v1, but ultimately, Morocco need rounds, and they've got no money.
And now it gets a little bit tricky. The MP9 up close for Sevsgal. Killer Queen with the FAMAS spotting in. Doesn't see too much. Or doesn't get too much, I should say. She does see stuff. They're putting pressure on mid and A. We saw this before. Last time it didn't work. This time looks a little bit better. Still a player behind Cake. Sitting in the smoke, trying to bait out. What can Kim achieve? Her bomb site completely compromised, and she just sits in the smoke as the bomb gets planted. She does deny. The MP9 at long range can't get the kill onto 2SSB. But she's still a threat. Still in the back of the bomb site and gets another. That is unbelievable from the MP9. Casey steps in with 2, and it falls to the deagle of Sabrine. Surely a known entity. Surely a known entity. She's got the kill, looking for another. That's insanity from Sabrine.
Yeah, but also take nothing away from Kim, because she denies the bomb. She waits so patiently. And South Africa just don't know what hit them. Shrouded in mystery was Kim. She gets an important double kill. And then the Deagle strikes for 2 more. That felt like a certain comeback. This time it's the 3 versus 5 for Morocco. And I'm talking about the economy being incredibly weak. It doesn't matter when you're hitting shots like that. What a round for Sabrine Hunter. What a moment for Morocco. They desperately needed that round. Max they can achieve is 3 on the CT side. Smoke goes awry. The incendiary's good. Sevsgal will immediately be traded. Bomb can go down. 4v4 at the turn of the half. A retake that has to be gone for.
This position from Lena, powerful. Does get the kill. Casey trades her. Avo is looking, and she finds Trevor. Sabrine and Kim. 2 players so low on this bomb site. You kind of wish that AWP was a rifle right now with this HP. Time running out for the CTs. They do have a kit on Sabrine. She's the only one standing. Can't hit her shot. 2SSB with a double. And 10 rounds for South Africa on the T side.
That's brilliant from Avo, because she takes the space when she's got the high HP, makes sure that it is one-dimensional on this retake for Morocco, and she drops her utility at the perfect time. Smoking towards Temple, Molly just in towards the entrance to CT. It completely splits that defense. It makes every single fight a 1v1, and South Africa just able to hold on to that afterplant.
It's a shame. I really do feel like Morocco could have left that first half with a bit of a bigger haul.
At least 5,
I think.
I
I mean, that would have felt great right on the CT side. 2, ooh, doesn't feel like quite enough, but let's see what their T side has to offer. A pistol round would be a good way to get things started. Smoke. In fact, that one's kind of fun. Onto Dark. Can I block that off? 2 players waiting for this flank. And it almost looked good, but Casey not missing a trick. Lena will get 2, in fact. It leaves it to Sevsgal, 1 versus 3. Now all the CTs just step up, too easy for Megs. That one goes the way of South Africa, but you could see how it could go the other way.
Yeah, look, Morocco were waiting patiently for that flank. They heard it as well. It's just KC right now is on a completely different universe. Just so much better than Morocco. Well, it's got to be said, though, is that Lena's been having great impact. I've been really impressed with her, just finding multi-kills in sort of every single one of these rounds. And whilst a lot of them haven't actually ended up being relevant, it's good to see that we have got this firepower in Morocco. Sabrine Hunter, I think, has been pretty decent as well. You can kind of see that no one's really lagging behind. It's a real team effort here for Morocco. And that's going to be so important with these later games to come, especially even in this series on the next map. I'm talking like it's done, but it is 11-2 to South Africa.
Yeah, their pick coming up next as well. Got a bit of a half investment from Morocco. There's a few players that have put a little bit more in, like Sabrine, like Killer Queen, but then you have some that have kept a bit of extra cash. Say overtime will loom if they lose this one. They put a bit of pressure on A with some util. That has brought a lot of the South Africans over, and now the Mac-10s, the Tech-9 just walk in. They've managed to really pull those rotates and make it work for them.
Good scaling. Look at this. And towards CT immediately. Sabrine Hunter can hear them coming forward. 2SSB should be dead. Like, there's no way she should get out with anything. And yeah, I Hate Jess and 2SSB have stepped up. Has turned the retake completely on its head. You've got a quick flank out of Avo. And now you're in a point where the defuse can just be stuck if you want to. Running over with the MP9. 2SSB, how on earth is she still alive in all of that? South Africa completely overwhelmed the site.
Oh, I mean, great retake, but it felt so good for Morocco. They get the entry kill in, they have good positioning. That deep line from Sabrine, you think that's guaranteed one, but she doesn't convert the kill immediately. That gives the opportunities for the CTs to deny her. 2SSB somehow, well, I know how. Her teammates just overwhelm Dark, make it so difficult to get her off that bomb. One bullet would have done it. And it could have been a different round, but the numbers overwhelm. Flash misses, that's the one to allow the Dark peek. I'm not going to stop I Hate Jess getting aggressive. Actually a pretty spooky spot. She's going to drop, but her teammates have already cleaned up that Dark lurk. South Africa playing for Canal's control successfully.
That's crazy. She just drops in towards the water. Yeah, rightfully punished by Lino. Immediate trade, though. 2SSB on the A extremity. Avo trying to line up a nade for B. And there was an opportunity. Sabrine Hunter could have just walked in there. Instead, gets tagged by Megs. Now she has to back up 2SSB as locked off mid. But Sabrine Hunter's found both.
Massive double kill. Casey will slip in, who has now found her 20th frag. And she's in hot pursuit. That bomb trying to enter into the side, it's all down to Kim.
Oh, I thought she was going to go A.
She could just go A.
Go A.
Throws the HE forward, tap on the bomb, try and catch that swinging player, and it's perfect. Knows where 2SSB was as well. Gonna commit to the plant now. 2SSB falls back for a moment, but is gonna re-aggress into Dark. Kim's not catching a whiff of her, but now she finds her. A clutch from Morocco, and they stay in Anubis.
Yeah, well done from Kim. Just the fake plant, just baiting in the swing. South Africa have been really aggressive, just all over with their map controls. You're going to expect this flanking from B main, and it works perfectly. Casey just not prepared at all for the quick tap, the wide swing, an important clutch for Morocco.
Kim's been really impressive, actually, across this map. Seen quite a few moments from her. Actually, I think from all the individuals on Morocco have had those different moments. So South Africa will force. And they've taken aggression out of B main. You can see the deep smoke thrown, but Sabrine is watching this. So she'll be holding for that aggression. In fact, they've got a player top mid holding as well, so they know exactly what South Africa are up to, but you're still got to win the fight. Avro's 5-7. It's a little bit tougher. They do eventually flush her out. Now they try and force their way into A. Successfully on that first kill. Casey does get one with the pistol. And it's a 2-on-2 bomb. Being planted, being committed. 2SSB almost in a position to deny. Flash over. 2SSB, I think known in the heavens. Smoked off. It's a 5-7, and Megs recovered AK to get this done, but Megs is low. Swing is perfect, and it falls to 2SSB.
That's the important one. 2SSB trying to clutch up. They don't know about her just yet. Has got a kit. Surely is aware that Seb's girl is right next to her. Creeps round the corner, will deal the killing blow. But now it's a 1v1. You can just wait for the bomb defuse noise. 2SSB can stick it, but here comes the swing. And the confirmation just about for Killer Queen. 3 in the round, Morocco with another. And that was your force buy. Now it has to be an eco.
Another one that comes down to the 1v1 as well.
It was scary.
Very scary.
She got it.
Nice push from the CTs to try and take that space. And even though the Ts were aware of it, Avo wins out the fight with the 5-7 versus the rifle. So she's been super impressive. Yeah, this should now be that economy completely reset.
Should be.
Should be.
Yeah.
Some scenic shots. There we go. Yeah, so we do have the eco. A couple of upgraded pistols, I think. I don't think they're P2Ks, are they?
I hope not.
3 players using the P2K.
That'd be P250.
Certainly a
surely.
choice.
Avo with the USP. Can she do it again? Not quite. Megs tries to step up. But now you've seen 2 players here. Do you want to commit to this? Well, the answer is yes, currently for Morocco. Waiting patiently. They've got a lurk of their own. Check out Sabrine Hunter. She's going to do her best Casey impression, but this time on B.
Yeah, so she'll just walk in now. SSB has gotten aggressive and punished for it. And the P250s, that's what was in their hands. They're doing well to clean up here.
IHS is 14 to 15, but has 113 ADR.
That's obscene.
That's ridiculous. Compare that to KC, who's 21 to 9 and has 106. She has more ADR than KC. Megs will find one, but that's all it's going to be. I don't think they're going to go for the round. They're probably just going to try and deny, get as many kills as you can. It's only a Galil. It's not that exciting, but Casey will still run off with it. Megs left to hunt. They won't find anything.
Well, save Galil. It's something. Especially when you got IHS 1900, 2 SSB the same. Beats having to invest into one of those CT rifles.
I really like looking at the dynamic of South Africa. You've got Avo, obviously you'd expect to be this bundle of energy. First LAN, it's like really trying to hype everyone up. You've got Megs, who is just Megs, cool, calm, collected as ever. 2 SSB is just chilling. IHS always got a smile on her face. Like, the vibes look really good, and they also feel balanced, which is going to be important just as the tournament goes on. And probably right now, you need to sort of close this map. You can't allow Morocco to get the momentum back, because we've been saying in that first time, they were scary. They looked pretty decent. The fact that it was a one-sided half is a little bit of an injustice, in my opinion. They definitely could have walked away with a lot more. And they're trying to prove that. They're trying to show how competitive they can be.
Yeah, already super impressed. Kind of labeled them as that dark horse just because they were the unknown entity outside of the few players that we've seen before in the CSGO tournament. But impressing, certainly, against the region's best.
Tactical timeout called by the CTs. And they know they've got the investment. They know they want to close. Lacking thing here is flashbangs. Avo with 2 flashbangs, and that is it. Only 1 nade, no molly. A lot of investment here into the firepower rather than the util.
Morocco win this round, and I'll start believing.
I won't, but I respect it. Hit me up at...
You never believe.
Hit me up at 12-8.
I've never seen someone that believes less than you.
Well, fair enough.
I like how that lands on the ledge. That's cool. Avo did wonders on the T side in this position. On the CT side, she's just locking it out.
Walking forward. Oh my
wow.
God. Okay. And that's going to scramble rotations. And now that allows Sebscal just to walk in A if she wants.
Yeah, she was so loud, though, on the fallback. So I think it's not going to draw too many players. You're actually going to get the reaggress. They heard a falling back players. They feel, all right, maybe there's some space here. No flashes. No bother. 1 for 1.
Oh, that's interesting. So Sebscal's dropped utility and is trying to keep the pressure over. Has drawn I Hate Jess. And now Morocco are just going to hit into B. Avo has got a massive task on her hands.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure everywhere, haven't they? That flash in the middle as well. Now the utility comes through and Avo will be coming over. She's just tucking in. There's no molly to flush out her position. Bomb to be planted safe. And now come the swing from Avo. Looking for the second. Spray doesn't quite connect. USP, run down. And it's a 2-on-2 as IHS catches Lena through that smoke. Player in dark. And they want to swing double. Oh no! Pluck from the air. It falls to Sebscal.
It does. I think this is probably it. Back turn, though. Sebscal finds Casey. Low HP. Is there enough time to defuse? IESF needs the kill first, and I think she's done it, especially with that kit. South Africa will lock in the map pick of Morocco, 13-5. But my goodness me, Lucy, I think Morocco definitely are the surprise package of this tournament.
Absolutely. A great showing despite the defeat. Very impressed by what Morocco brought out. CT side just needed a little bit more. I felt like the T side had a lot of things going for it, and even that last round, a lot of those CT rounds came down to just small pieces of decision making, which have gone the other way. If some of those fights had been won out in the other direction, we'd still be deep into this. So Morocco, for their first game on the stage, a good showing.
Oh, I'd definitely say so. I feel like if you just wait an extra sort of couple of seconds or thereabouts, then Morocco were in some really decent crossfires. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. And it's just the nerves of being on the stage. It's sort of the inexperience of some of this roster as well, right? Because we already spoken about the fact that in Yash and kind of qualifying through to Yash last year, Morocco had a core of players that are now being brought forward, but also they're mixing in some new players. And we are seeing some really interesting sort of results out of Morocco. I'm really interested to kind of see how they bounce back on Inferno. We've got an MVP as well of the map. I think I know who it's going to go to. I can imagine it will probably go to KC for South Africa because she was unbelievable. Notable mentions, though, for me, IESF and Avo.
Yeah, Avo for sure. Particularly when we're talking about the context of her first big stage game, right? And to be performing as well as she was. Yeah, I know that Casey's Lex on the A side were obviously very influential on that T side, but Avo's success into Dark, I don't think she ever lost that fight.
No.
I think she was winning it with Mac 10s against AWP. She was winning it rifle versus rifle. Always felt like she had that space. And as I mentioned, right, when you don't have control of Dark on the CT side, you just feel like you've got no control of anything. They can burst through at any moment. So Avo resting that every single round just made it feel really difficult to hold on to B.
Yeah, and I think Sabrine Hunter had some really good lurks. I mean, we all spoke about the KC lurk over towards A, but Sabrine Hunter was just walking out B main at times just uncontested, and with no nades, just finding the opening kill, and then falling back. It's a shame that that round, like that last round of play didn't work for Morocco, because the way they actually built that up in the mid-round was brilliant, and I think it did deserve that round win.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, to be fair, for all the praise we're throwing onto Morocco, this was the expected outcome, right, for South Africa, right? Yep. So I guess the good thing here, if you're a South African fan, is, you know, the team has come, they've arrived in the server, they're looking as good as we expected. There's definitely some things that can be punished. We definitely saw that there are some weaknesses. In fact, when they were trying to force the issue, right, there was a few rounds where they got a little bit maybe cocky, a little bit too much, like they wanted to punish a team that they, you know, felt like they were much better in the server, and that didn't work out for them. But one thing it did work out for them, their match MVP, Casey. Beautiful performance from her, 21 and 11, so almost a 2.0 KD.
Yeah, she was fantastic, and I was just really impressed with her just being able to walk in and find so much impact, just so many entry kills on that T side, and it really just sort of stifled the rotations of Morocco. And sure, we are giving Morocco a lot of praise. The fact is, we're saying that South Africa need work. They still won this, what, 13-5, 13-6. So the fact that you can come into this looking a little bit hit and miss, a little bit dodgy, and still come out with the victory in dominant fashion is a really good sign of showing for South Africa.
Yeah, and that is with, you know, that's not their map pick either, right? We have Inferno coming up next.
Here we are, second map about to kick off between Morocco and South Africa. Anubis, we saw some good things out of Morocco, but it was South Africa ultimately to take away their map pick. Lucy, we now look to Inferno. I need you to sell me the dream here. Sell me the dream for Morocco, please.
Well, the dream is that, you know, we did see some good stuff out of them on Anubis, right? There were signs of that promise from this team. However, Inferno is kind of the stomping ground of South Africa, so it feels like the sort of place where they're going to struggle even more, right? This is the map that South Africa have been playing these players in our different teams over the last few years. It's always been the primary map of South African teams. So I have a little worry for them. We'll see. Maybe they'll have planned for this inevitability, knowing it was their opening matchup, but all signs look to South Africa. Let's see.
Straight into Inferno, and as you say, like, a lot of fundamentals are going to be put to the test here for Morocco, and you're at this point where Morocco was showing some good stuff on the CT side, but they were keen to bite and over-rotate very easily. That is a bread and butter of Inferno. That's something you cannot afford to sort of have happen to you on this defense. Fast play in mid. Sabrina Hunter also locked out the choke point with utility. Well timed on the incendiary, but they're just going to jump past it.
It's going to separate the players, but it might not matter. There was no one to swing from short. Interesting smoke thrown in the second mid as well. Just going to be spamming. Moto smoke is down, so separating these players from CT. Sebs gets one. But Avo, IHS, and Megs all chime in. Tried to force through the smoke is Sabrine and didn't work out. Bomb2 planted. Kim and Killer Queen. Do they want to go for this?
Not sure.
No armor.
Yeah, probably not then. Save the smoke, save the flash. You've been dinked as well. Killer Queen's low HP. Kim will try, but IHS will succeed instead around the corner. Even with the burst fire, having fun with it, are South Africa. And immediately, just a change in the perspective for them. T-side Anubis, it was a lot more lurky. It was a lot more just sort of going for these mid-rounds. Here, on Inferno, it was just the pistol, sure, but you're straight out the gate. There's all 5 players just trading.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's more set strats to come out from South Africa, because I will say it really felt like, for the most part, their T-side on Anubis was just run the default and go from there.
Yeah.
There were a couple of rounds towards the end where they started to go for those mid-A splits, so we definitely saw, some variation to the strat book, but it was pretty simple on Anubis. I imagine Inferno, a few more tricks up the sleeve, especially if they start getting tested.
Yeah, I think we're just going to see maybe just that your default of taking Banana, taking top brackets here, especially against a low buy or a force, you can kind of get away with just doing whatever you want. This is a rinse and repeat of the pistol. And we might actually be in territory where South Africa go A every round and say to Morocco, okay, just come and deal with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, just that lurk put in play, towards B, just to keep players rooted to be annoying. That's kind of what their Anubis default looked like, right? It's like Casey, hang out on A, and the rest of the squad do their job. The Eco Frag's getting farmed up as the save from Morocco. The Eco doesn't get really too much done. South Africa will be happy not losing any players. They only had the 1 SMG, so they were playing for the longer game. Now we'll see the M4s on the board for Morocco. They've gone for 5, which means, Brandon, a complete lack of utility.
Yeah, and that's something you desperately need on a map like Inferno. You need to control top Banana. You need to control top brackets. You need to do that with your incendiaries, with your HEs. IHS, it's good to see that she is finishing off her kills this time. Has got the most ADR and has got the most kills. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it again. They're just going to keep going A and say to Morocco, okay, well, guess what? We're going to do this again. You better have an answer for us. Otherwise, we're not going to change our default.
Yep, out through short. Lena spam, because there are a lot of players. No, you got to play her in Boiler. Sabrina misses the opportunity. Avo gets the kill. Lena doesn't reveal her presence. I'm surprised she didn't start spamming off that contact. So they're just going to burst through successfully.
I'd save. Genuinely, I would save. Yeah, look, Lena, I was going to say has a timing, but no, it's Casey and Boiler, and Casey finds another. This is just absolute domination from South Africa. 3 rounds out of 3, they've gone A. 3 rounds out of 3, they've only lost 1 player, maybe 2. It has been unbelievable.
Casey is a really interesting talking point when we come to sort of South African women's teams, women's players, I should say specifically, because, she was a time where she wasn't always playing kind of with the main South African squad, but she's always been considered kind of the best, really, when it comes to South African players. So it's cool to see her playing on the national squad here. I know she's played in a lot of open teams as well, different times, and has a lot of talent. That is quite the tower, superior with the Moto Smoke. Now they're going to go D.
Good damage from Kim, but unfortunately not a second kill. IHS lives with a sliver. And now the rest of the piece just clean up. Yeah, I think Casey is brilliant on this team. I think IHS, especially in the last year or so, has really just taken a meteoric rise. Obviously CS2 has come out. It was kind of interested seeing her just sort of on the impact stages, but I don't know, it's definitely gone up a gear, which has been good to see. I'm just excited for Avo. Avo's development is going to be the interesting storyline, not only here in Casablanca, but presuming all goes well for South Africa, them in Riyadh. Like, having 2 international lands under your belt at such a young age is only going to help you develop enormously just as you continue through your career.
We just had the Steam profile picture appearing. Oh, that's cracking me up. What a great profile picture. Good flashbangs for their protocols when they went up banana. Back to action. All about, again, for Sabrine. I haven't seen it on Inferno yet.
This is default.
Yeah, this is more what you expect. Getting the apps control early. CT is smoking off boiler, so I feel like that should signal to South Africa that there is some sort of aggressive setup in brackets, and an AWP could be a possibility.
Good molly. That completely just upsets the AWP. Killer Queen's now got to be really careful. Sebscale has to call over this info. Molly's come in from balcony. Good counter smoke. Actually, it just bounces out. And now there's opportunity here for Avo if she wants it to potentially creep forward. Instead, it's Casey finding Sebscale. She'll remove her from pit, and now Avo can take space.
It's always Casey. Avo's space quickly plugged. Swing not quite there, and Casey on the warpath. Sabrine misses her shot with the AWP. 2 players are low on this South African squad, and you feel like you want to go for this if you're Morocco. I know you're in the 2-on-3. With damage done, you really want to get onto the board soon. Smoke on Demoto, though, blocks off any possibility.
You can't. You can't go for it. You also don't know how much of this damage is confirmed as well. I mean, oh, Kim has got more opportunities. Sabrine Hunter will actually live for at least a moment, but now the swings are just too difficult. Kim tries her best, but split between 2 angles. 2 SSB and Megs just swing in tandem. South Africa, that one's closer, but they still get the round.
Yeah, there was a way in for Morocco after 2 SSB whiffs that shot on long, and they see that opportunity to get onto the line when she goes for the repeat. But when Sabrine isn't able to get that kill, that's kind of the key thing, right? The way Morocco got into that round, or would have been able to get into it, is Sabrine posts on pit, gets to SSB, and then you don't have to worry about that left side. You can focus site. You can then focus onto onto Meg, sorry. You can see how close that came off the swing. 2 players lying in wait. Yeah, Meg's able to close it. Bailing out 2 SSB. South Africa, great start to their T side.
Even before, I think Sabrine had an opportunity just posting in from sort of like the library angle towards short. And if she was able to hit that shot, then you can rotate back. You can then wait for your rotate. You go in on a 2v2. But yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. Tech issues here, so we're just going to wait for all the players to be ready before jumping back in, hopefully momentarily. But Inferno, for me, is definitely more T-sided now. I think with the changes to the incendiaries, them being a lot more shorter, you can take Banana a lot more freely. But 5-0 is a hell of a strong start. I think normally 6-7 rounds, you're good on T-side. The fact that South Africa have already got 5, it is boding very, very well for them, trending upwards, especially with Morocco going in for that retake in the previous round, losing the AWP, losing the M4. The money's not going to be in a great state of affairs.
Still very positive in the South African camp. Back underway. And we will be able to cobble together a buy for Morocco. Full stage loss bonus, and a few players had a bit of extra money from the save the round previous, so justifying that investment. But I feel like they might need to start taking some of their own aggressive measures, because sort of sitting back playing kind of the default CT setups isn't working. Maybe Sabrine has an idea for it. Crosses middle early, but not able to extend into apps because of the molly.
This is better. Fighting B is Kim, and that's sharp onto Megs. Avo will trade, though, on the other end of maps. Avo is always in apps, and it's going to push South Africa in towards brackets control, something they've always been able to take. A whiff on that smoke out long, never mind. Casey just spams, but it's actually Sebskull that finds Avo.
And the spam through the smoke onto IESF. This is looking good for Morocco. 4-on-2, Casey low as well.
Yeah, that smoke's whiffed. It's got a massive gap just sort of on the front side as you're coming towards middle.
All Morocco have to do is make sure They don't split the defense too much. They're worried about B. They are going to reposition so they have players watching long, but it does mean that short is a possible angle. They're playing so passive. They had full banana control. I feel like you just leave a player spotting banana and then put 3 players onto A, because now you run the risk, but KC falls. And maybe there's no longer a risk. It comes down to 2 SSB, 1 versus 4, and this tucked in position behind Cold. Surely a little bit too tricky to clear. Smoke towards Moto, that'll give us some space to work with, but you imagine the CTs don't even respect this. 2 SSB hits the shot, but to spam through the smoke, Morocco get there first.
Yeah, Sebscar didn't even swing, didn't even peek. Wanted to guarantee that round win for Morocco, but that was sloppy from South Africa. Smoke and top brackets missing completely. Avo wins out her fight initially in apartments, then gets completely removed out of the equation, all individual for South Africa. These were the sort of mistakes that we saw creeping through just on Anubis, just sort of towards the tail end of their T half, and they can't afford for it to creep in again now, because we know Morocco, once they get a few rounds under their belt, they can sort of run away with this. That was a cobbled together buy, as you mentioned, MP9s, Famasis, M4s. Now Sabrine Hunter's on the AWP, she's dealt with Megs again. That is 2 for 2 opening kills on Megs.
That's what we've been looking for. Sabrine finding success with that AWP. Struggled the first couple of times she brought it out, and Killer Queen needs to be careful. You can see Avo looking for the punish, but there's an AWP on the line. 2 opening kills for Sabrine, and a 5-on-3 for Morocco.
Yeah, that was really nice. You just bait the reload out, you got the AWP there on the line. 2 SSB will find Sabrine, so that is the AWP, and that is potentially an AWP back in favor for 2 SSB, but stepping in is Killer Queen. Essential kill for her. The bomb has just been scooped up down T bracket. 2 SSB, how can you work this into a winning scenario? If you go B, there is only Kim there.
Now gonna go there. Kim has no denial utility either. No molly, no smoke to slow this down if they do start to enter into the bomb site. IESF does have the full kit of util, so can smoke off the cross.
You've got to go around the corner, Killer Queen. You've got to take space in towards top brackets. You've got to know whether they're there or not.
They're going to hear the util and they're just going to commit to it. 30 seconds left. HE goes forward. Rotations on their way, spamming through the smoke, not catching anyone. They want to scale in, get rid of the CT. They swing in tandem. That's the space, the bomb allowed to go down. IESF takes the forward position. Flash over the top, the low HP Killer Queen falls. Now it's a 2-on-2. Up close, behind the coffins, IESF gets another onto the elevated angle, looking for this follow-up swing, and she will collect a beautiful 3-piece from her. 2 SSB with 2, and between the 2 of them, they pull off essentially a 2-on-5.
Yeah, a 2-on-4, like in complete dead to rights, and that's all because Morocco just didn't look for that info. Rotated another player over towards A. Where has South Africa been finishing a number of these rounds? A. So it makes a lot of sense for them to kind of just posture and put another person over there, but you can't do that if you're not looking for info. If that comes from your player playing a little bit more aggressive on B, you can't do that if you're Kim, you've got no util. You just need to fight. You just need to take info. There was none of it.
Yeah, that's the thing that really separates the good from the best is their ability to info gather in those positions and not just feel like they've got the advantage and they can sit back on their laurels. No. When you have the advantage, you need to utilize it. Make sure that there's not a way back in, because a team like South Africa, if they see that opportunity, they will take it.
They're seeing one now. Again, this smoke is a little bit awkward. So IESF is just trying to see whether she can see just in the wisps of it on that right-hand side. Smoke forward on the boost. Now that angle isn't a possibility. Flash forward, it's just going to be the B commit.
All by yourself, Kim needs something big, can't get it done. Too many players overwhelming the entire squad of South Africa. And you save. You have to save. You've just reinvested here. You've got 3 rifles. You need those into the next round. They have not had a full round where they have 5 rifles with utility on everyone. There's always compromises. This round had the compromises, and that's why they couldn't defend the site. They had no counter utility, nothing to lock out South Africa, and they might just lose it all right here. Avo walking through the smoke and actually get up close next to Killer Queen. Doesn't work out for her, and sadly, I think for Morocco, that entices them forward. But it's just to doom, just to their demise.
That is such a shame. And it's these mistakes that are creeping in for Morocco round on round and now map on map. I can't believe they went for that. They had no right in going for that retake, especially because Kim didn't find anything. That was essentially a 5-on-4 in which you're maybe having one flash, one smoke being brought forward into that retake. You're so disjointed as well. The player on Banana doesn't go after the contact's been taken from CT. It's actually the Banana player going first. It's too easy. It's too simple. It's a shame, but it's South Africa up to 7.
But they're going to keep investing. They're going to keep on buying in. Sabrine gets the AWP. At least has some armor with it. She kept extra money to buy it into this round. And yeah, you've got the rest of the squad all lacking the utility. And it's so important on a map like Inferno just to block these advancements. Sabrina gets caught. At least Killer Queen does get that kill. And Seb steps up from 2 from pit. Needed that because she was the only one on site. And now it's given a chance for Morocco. A player advantage bomb to be planted. They want to force through. Avo, her spray wild, but straight to the dome of 2. Takes control of it and rests this round back to South Africa. Lena yet to frag, needs to.
Eyes widened on Avocam as she goes for that spray. It's going to be a tough one for Lena. At this point, this is where you do go for it. 1v2, sure, no kit, but you need rounds. You need to get yourself on the board. And Avo's looking to deny, even on 13 HP. Lena about to come around the corner. Avo looking the wrong way. So that will open up a 1v1, but the time is just not there. There's no kit. Megs is tucked in the entire time, and now will reveal her presence. South Africa, their T-side domination continues.
Meg's like, I don't know. It's all over. Not really had to speak too much about Megs. Meggy Weggy.
Meggy Weggy.
And she's likes to be referred to.
She doesn't.
Her preferred IGN. Being overshadowed a bit by the likes of Avo. That was a nice double kill. I loved it was a little bit wild, but she was able to control it. Headshots on both with the full spray. Okay, Morocco do go for half buy, so they can buy into the next round. So, some discipline, but I feel like it comes a little too late. You would have loved a better buy in some of these previous rounds and a chance. And now, gonna get bullied. Nice deagle shot, but that was your only defense.
Oh, that's been heard as well. Look at the lurk. KC has heard them rotate towards long, and Meg's just threw the smoke on Sabrine. Why not? Why not just keep adding insult to injury now for Morocco? I hate Jess with the swing. Can't actually get by the FAMAS, but there's KC in the backstab. You know Sebscale was here. And it's going to be a 9th on the ball for South Africa, only losing 2 players in the process.
Casey's lurks. So influential on Anubis, finding all that impact here as well on Inferno. We saw one nice little deagle shot come through from Lena, but simply too many players.
Good news is for Morocco, the format for this is double elimination.
True.
Also, you're playing against the hardest team first.
Yeah, honestly, get this one out the way, right? You can get the rematch in later if you have to play through. Top 2 teams out of 4 make it through.
Exactly.
That's another opening. You'll find success.
Double up.
Double up, all right. Kim's got hers. Morocco just need to make sure they can capitalize on this. That all posted towards the apartments from Kim.
Oh, timing on that.
It felt perfect. Destined for a frag. Gonna swap out with Sebs.
It's going to be a bit fakey. You drop the utility in towards B for South Africa. That has drawn a 3rd rotate over. 1 AWP locked out, but Kim finds her mark.
There we go. Sebscal finds hers on the KC2, trying to push through that smoke. This looks like a second for Morocco.
Good rotate as well, because the bomb got dropped on Kim's initial kill. 2 SSB. Now reveals that she's here, but well timed with that swing.
Yeah, great setup there, right? The orb takes the first contact from the left side of Newbox, and then you get that swing out from close first. Avo, what you got for us? Not a lot, unfortunately. That is flawless for Morocco to get that round. They don't lose a player. That's what we need to see.
Yeah, much better. But it's similar. It's like life at the very end for Morocco in towards a half, where it should have come out a lot earlier. The issue I've got with this one, Lucy, is that Anubis, I was trying to create a conversation. I was trying to sort of paint a bigger picture about Morocco are looking competitive. They haven't in this first half. And South Africa have just been in complete control. A couple of rounds have crept in, but this doesn't feel like what we saw on Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, we did expect this on Inferno. I think Anubis was a must-win for Morocco, but let's see. A third, maybe something to work with. Lena gets one as they try and force their way in, but now the MAC-10 going to be putting the pace on to SSB as well. The whole squad ready to roll into B. Sabrine needs something, can't get it done. A forward position. Wanted to play around Fountain instead of New Box, which meant she had nowhere to go. And now Killer Queen does get one, so it's 3-on-3. Not impossible, especially if that orb gets a chance onto Avo. Do you want to re-swing this? Apparently, yes. Killer Queen gets another. They are being successful in this retake. A lot of utility, but Killer Queen finding kill after kill. That's why they call her the Queen. Falls to KC, who has been delivering time after time for South Africa, and she does it again! A triple kill for Casey the Killer, and that's 10 for South Africa.
That is ridiculous, but what a reposition out of KC. Just moves in towards Pit and just takes them all down. I cannot believe that there is not a single trade there. There should have been. That was Morocco's round to lose, and I tell you what, they've given it to KC on a silver platter. Take nothing away from KC, who's back-to-back been unbelievable in both of these maps. But that is a real shame, because that felt so good up until KC happened.
Yeah, it was looking great, but 3-on-1 KC in a powerful position.
It was weird because you see her moving over, you see the camera fly over all dramatic, and I'm like, yeah, she's won. Like, even before the first bullet.
Yeah. Directed by James Cameron.
Jess Cam. Run. Dealt with. Instead, there she is. A swing with her and Megs. They now know these players are in mid, and they're just crunching. They are hounding them down, South Africa. All the kills come in. There's a bit of team damage as well on Sabrine Hunter. Unlucko for Morocco.
Unlucko for Morocco. Yeah, this is South Africa that comes in with a point to prove. We can talk about these other nationalities when we get there in the World Championship at the end of the year. For
it was
now,
just a preview.
We're in Africa. All right, and we're focusing on South Africa versus the hometown heroes of Morocco. South Africa 11-2 up on their map pick, looking to get themselves a spot in the upper side of the bracket. Just 2 rounds needed.
Look at all the MP9s. All 4 of them. I got to remember, this was the pistol in which South Africa just ran at Morocco. They crunched from B, they crunched from top mid. It was overwhelming. And now we're at this impasse. I don't mind the force. I don't really out of Morocco. You kind of need to make a decision quite quickly. You decided to go, okay, well, we need rounds now. So that's what we've gone for.
The issue is obviously the lack of utility.
Yes,
I also don't know if that's a HUD bug, but Kim not showing armor, which could be a slight concern.
Please be a HUD bug.
I hope it's a HUD bug. We do get those these days. But
Great
flashbang to set up the swing. Casey and Avo get one apiece. Kim does get hers. Traded immediately. Lena's lurk. The only thing that can maybe get them back in falls to Killer Queen. Top of the board, 14 kills. Make that 15. She might not be done yet, but Casey, her counterpart on the other side, leading the charge. And that will be series point for South Africa.
Yes, South Africa looking a lot more dominant here on Inferno. And of course, it has to be this forcing. Great flash, by the way, from Avo. Just sets up KC, swing from pit, and then Avo just follows up at close range with the SMG. So smart layering from South Africa. Unlucky on the D.
Yeah, Lena's like, oh man, I absolutely whiffed that.
I absolutely had it, and then I didn't.
That was mine. All right, this force fire is actually better.
Yeah.
3 rifles, 2 submachine guns, 4 rifles on the other side. Have Morocco got anything left in the tank?
They did at the back end of Anubis.
They
When
did.
it was map point, they were forcing the issue. Lena's now holding for this flank down Banana. In fact, no one is here apart from Megs.
Yeah, they took 3 players here initially just to assert the control through the deep smoke down. Megs now falls back, plays passive. She can juggle utility as needed. Because it's going to take time for Morocco to
Oh no,
re-clear
not clearing.
this. Oh, they've just walked into this massive layering. However, they've come out relatively successful.
Oh, and Avo's now revealed her position as well by Boiler. Lena can maybe step in.
Lena needs his kill. Oh, Avo gets hit. Casey falls on the site, so they've managed to wrap long, get into the bomb site. They know Avo's position. She's going to walk around through the apartments. Megs is rotated. She's out long, going to be smoked off at Moto.
She can flash. She can flash forward, and then Avo can peek out balcony. That's exactly what's happened as
Oh,
well.
it's a bit of a gap, actually. Megs can use this. Being a distraction with her util, Avo just crawls out, and she's able to get that kill onto Kim. It's down to Killer Queen once more, but it's not planted for her. Oh, it's not planted for her, and it can't be denied. Avo provides the coverage, and South Africa take it into.